Well, back to our top story now as we await the first White House briefing since special counsel Hur's damning report. Let's bring in Kerri Urbahn, Fox News legal editor and former counselor to Attorney General Bill Barr. So many things to go over in this case, but let's go back to what we were saying just before we went to the break, and that's Kamala Harris coming out against Robert Hur in this report. Let's again listen to what she said.
So the way that the president's demeanor in that report was characterized could not be more wrong on the facts and clearly politically motivated, gratuitous. And so I will say that when it comes to the role and responsibility of a prosecutor in a situation like that, we should expect that there would be a higher level of integrity than what we saw.
So he is a special prosecutor appointed by the Attorney General. The report was presented to the Attorney General, who reviewed it and then passed it on to the White House. So she just rolled all of that up in a big ball and threw the entire DOJ under the bus.
I wonder if the White House press secretary is now going to, again, talk about the independence of the DOJ and how they stay out of everything after that comment. It gets hard to do when your bosses are making comments like that. And, you know, John, we've talked about this before. It reminded me somewhat of when the president talks about how his son is innocent over and over again. And, you know, you have to remember, Attorney General is his direct report. And so there's no way that one can't construe these comments as directed, obviously, towards DOJ and even a warning or a message. But separately, I will say her point about gratuitous information in the report. I tend to agree with that. And this is why people don't like special counsels. You know, we saw this with the Mueller report with Trump. Hundreds of pages of extraneous information. For what? For no charges. We're seeing this with her on Biden. And we also saw this, though it wasn't a special counsel investigation, we saw this with Comey on Clinton. And, you know, look, this is why these reports, I think, honestly, are problematic for the Department of Justice. DOJ operates in a pretty black and white world. You're guilty or you're not guilty. There's not really supposed to be anything in between. But these reports allow the Department of Justice to effectively, you know, trash people, ruin their administrations, you know, and their reputations, and then just say, oh, but no charges. And I'm not sure that's fair, no matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican.
On the subject of fairness, this is what Biden said initially yesterday afternoon when he was asked about the report. He was focusing in on what he thought was the differentiation contained in this report between what he did regarding classified documents and what Donald Trump did. Listen to what he said.
I was especially pleased to see special counsel make clear the stark distinction and difference between this case and Mr. Trump's case. Continuing to quote, most notably, after given multiple chances to return classified documents to avoid prosecution, Mr. Trump allegedly did the opposite.
Clearly, he read deeper into the report before that 8 o'clock news conference last night. But on that point, Biden, willful retention, compare that to the Trump indictment, 32 counts of willful intention or willful retention. Biden gets off, Trump gets indicted.
And there's, you know, there is a distinction with the Trump case because there are some obstruction issues at play with Trump that don't seem to be the case with Biden. However, this was always my concern, and I've been thinking about this for some time when Merrick Garland appointed 2 special counsels looking at the same issue. And I thought, okay, what happens when these reports cross his desk and there are different outcomes? You know, good luck trying to convince the American people that your special counsels are operating in an even-handed way, neutrally, and applying the law. And even with the distinction that is with, you know, is presented in the Trump case, I think he's going to have a very tough time convincing the American people that willful retention in Biden deserves no charges, whereas it does with Trump.
All right.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.